Picks for you. Perk, you're going first. You're looking at tonight's East playing game. You've got LaMelo Ball going for 25 or more points. Why?
You're damn right I do, and because he understands it, and he's ready for the moment, Shay. When you think about what he did against the Miami Heat, especially in that first quarter, he came out super aggressive. I expect that tonight. He is putting his team on his shoulders, and he's ready to get to the postseason.
In the other playing game, I got Steph Curry going for 5 or more three-pointers against the Suns tonight. Come on, this is Steph Curry's bread and butter. He had 7 against the Clippers in the first playing game. He put the team on his back. Steve Kerr told us this is why he came back for moments like this. What does he do better than anyone else? Shoot the 3 ball. I expect Steph Curry to do just that, specifically in the second half. 5 or more threes for Steph Curry tonight. Stephen A., let's get to you. You've got Cat dropping 20 or more points tomorrow night in Game 1 against the Hawks. Why?
Because he's Karl Anthony Towns and he needs to step up because the Atlanta Hawks is a young, talented team, but relatively inexperienced. And Karl Anthony Towns should be able to feed off a big-bodied Brunson, as they say, and take advantage of the Hawks. If you can't do it against the Hawks, why the hell should I expect you to do it against Boston or Detroit if you're lucky to get that far? He needs to handle his business. I believe he will.
All right, let's stick with the Knicks there. There was a report by The Athletic that Knicks owner James Dolan could make massive shakeup, massive changes if the Knicks fall short of expectations, which would include front office changes as well. Perk, and you've been talking about this all week long. Perk, would it be fair for the Knicks to do that if they don't make a finals appearance?
Hell no. Absolutely not. Front office changes? Why? Like, do you know how long it takes sometimes an organization to go? And I know Stephen A. is about to come on here and talk about we haven't been to the NBA Finals since, what was it,
1973.
I didn't heard it so much, I even remember it. But James Dolan got to chill. Do you see the patience that Mr. Bennett, the owner for Oklahoma City Thunder, had with Sam Presti? It takes time. You don't just put together a squad and just say, here, go make a finals run. And again, I don't see what's the problem. Again, I'm going to tell y'all this. The Knicks are playing with house money. They are. Like, the best thing that happened.
How is it house money?
Because the best thing that happened for them was at the trade deadline, Giannis didn't get traded. Because we know Giannis want to go to New York. So if they
He can change his mind.
He's not.
He can change his mind. I mean, this is the Knicks. See, that's how we know this is Beaumont, Texas kicking in. Not New Yorkers. I don't care how many games you sit courtside with Tracy Morgan. I don't care. I don't care how much New York love you. You understand? You're not going to do this. You're not going to do this, Perk. Let me tell you something right now. I'm very, very nervous. I'm very, very nervous that Giannis might change his mind and say, hell, you know what, just send me someplace other than Milwaukee, as opposed to the specifically saying New York. And here's the part that I want to say to you. Under no circumstances am I saying that Leon Rose and World Wide West future should be in jeopardy. They've done a hell of a job. That's not where I'm going. But you do need to make sure you let them know how unpleased you are or displeased you are in the event that they go home early, because trading that many assets for Mikal Bridges, you'd have had Giannis already if you had some of those assets. See, everything they've done isn't right. Most of it is, and they deserve a lot of credit. But the things that you've done wrong, guess what? Somebody needs to say so. You need to. We can't be acting like this is a honeymoon and everything that glitters is gold with the New York Knicks with Leon Rose. You can't do that. There are certain things that they should not have done. Right now, you got people wondering why Tibbs is gone. Mike Brown's got something to prove.
The New York Knicks are about to start their playoff run against the Atlanta Hawks, and Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins just went at it over what happens if they fail. There's a report by The Athletic that James Dolan could make massive changes, including front office changes, if the Knicks fall short of expectations. Perk said, "Hell no. Absolutely not." Stephen A. said, "If they get bounced out of the first round, I don't know whose head needs to roll, but somebody's head needs to roll." Let me break down both sides of this argument because it's not as simple as it seems. First, the game picks. Perk took LaMelo Ball for 25 or more points tonight against the Magic. He said, he understands it and is ready for the moment. He came out super aggressive against the Miami Heat in the first quarter. I expect that tonight. Kendrick Perkins also took Steph Curry for 5 or more three-pointers against the Suns. He said, this is Steph Curry's bread and butter. He had 7 against the Clippers. He put the team on his back. Steve Kerr told us this is why he came back. And Stephen A. took Karl Anthony Towns for 20 or more points tomorrow night in Game 1 against the Hawks. He said, he needs to step up. The Hawks are young and talented but inexperienced. If you can't do it against the Hawks, why should I expect you to do it against Boston? Now let me get to the real debate. Perk argued that the Knicks are playing with house money. He said, the best thing that happened was that at the trade deadline, Giannis didn't get traded, because we know Giannis wanted to go to New York. Stephen A. immediately corrected him. He said, he changed his mind. That's how we know this Beaumont, Texas is kicking in. Not New Yorkers. I don't care how many games you sit courtside with Tracy Morgan. I don't care how much New York loves you. You're not going to do this, Perk. I'm very, very nervous that Giannis might change his mind and say, just send me someplace other than Milwaukee. Stephen A. made it clear. He's not saying that Leon Rose and Worldwide Wes futures should be in jeopardy. They've done a hell of a job. But he said, you do need to let them know how displeased you are in the event that they go home early. Trading that many assets for Mikal Bridges, you'd have had Giannis already if you had some of those assets. Everything they've done isn't right. Most of it is. They deserve a lot of credit. But the things that you've done wrong, somebody needs to say so. Perk fired back. He said, James Dolan is the problem. If the Knicks don't get Giannis, it's going to be because of comments like this. Giannis wants to go somewhere with stability and structure and culture. That ain't James Dolan. Stephen A. quickly said, my crazy comments? I'm talking about Dolan. Not you. Thank you so much. Then Perk brought up the real question. He asked, who decided that Tom Thibodeau had to go? Was that Dolan or was that Leon Rose? He said if it was Dole. And all bets are off. Leave stuff as is because it was your fault that you interfered with basketball operations. If that decision was made by Leon Rose, then we look at the Knicks with a far more critical eye. Stephen A. added, what's the expectation? To make the finals, win a championship. If you couldn't do it with Thibodeau, you can't do it with Mike Brown. What's the common denominator? Players. Perk then made the most important point about the Hawks series. He said, the Hawks don't have one single player that could stop Karl-Anthony Towns. He recalled when he was with the Celtics in 2009 to 2010 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Doc Rivers came into the locker room and said, Kilogram, you got Anton Jameson on you. You're going to be the number one option offensively in this series. I need 20 to 25 field goal attempts out of you, and we are going to win this series. He said the same thing needs to happen for the Knicks. He said, I don't need to see Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby initiating offense. They need to stick to their two-man game with Jalen Brunson, feature Karl-Anthony Towns, and put him in position to get the ball so that he could be successful. Stephen A. then laid out the full case for why this series is so important. He said, Mike Brown was brought here to make them look better offensively. We all know Thibodeau is an elite genius defensively, but offensively at times he has seemed a bit challenged. You knew you were going to take a step back defensively with Mike Brown instead of Thibodeau. The flip side is that they were supposed to be significantly better offensively. We haven't seen that. We've seen Mikal Bridges take a step back. We've seen Karl-Anthony Towns take a step back. But that's the regular season. We are figuring it out. Now the playoffs are here. Ain't no time for all of that. This is supposed to be figured out. You're supposed to be better offensively. And then Stephen A. dropped the hammer. He said, the New York Knicks were in Game 7 of the conference semifinals 2 years ago, Game 6 of the conference finals last year. If they get bounced out in the first round, I don't know whose head needs to roll, but somebody's head needs to roll. I can tell you that much. Let me give you my take on this. The Knicks have made progress. They went from lottery team to playoff team to conference finals contender. That's not nothing. But the expectations have changed. When you trade 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, when you fire a coach who took you to the conference finals, when you bring in a new coach to fix the offense, the expectation is not just to make the playoffs. The expectation is to compete for a championship. If the Knicks lose to the Hawks in the first round, that's not just a disappointment. That's a disaster. Because the Hawks are the 8th seed. They're a good team, but they're not the Celtics. They're not the Bucks. Losing to them would be a major step backward. And when you step backward after investing that much in the roster, someone has to be held accountable. But here's the thing. Perk is right about James Dolan. The Knicks have a history of instability. Firing executives every few years, changing coaches, trading away picks. That's not how you build a winner. The Thunder had patience with Sam Presti. The Warriors had patience with their core. The Knicks need to show that same patience. If they panic and blow it up after one bad series, they'll scare away free agents. They'll scare away Giannis. And they'll be right back where they started. The answer lies in who made the decisions. If Dolan forced the Mikal Bridges trade and forced the Thibodeau firing, then the front office shouldn't be punished. But if Leon Rose made those calls, then he has to answer for them. You can't trade 5 first-round picks for a non-All-Star and then miss the conference finals without consequences. All right, let me wrap this up with some questions for you. Drop your takes in the comments. 1. Should the Knicks make front office changes if they lose in the first round to the Hawks? 2. Is Perk right that the Knicks are playing with house money, or is Stephen A. right that heads should roll? 3. Can Karl-Anthony Towns dominate the Hawks the way Perk described? 4. Will Giannis end up in New York, or is that dream dead? I'll read the best comments in the next video. Smash like if you think the Knicks should stay patient. Hit subscribe if you think heads should roll. And comment. Tee your Knicks-Hawks series prediction right now. Let's go.